Hello, my name is Goran Rihelj and I'm here to tell you one story how one email signature can change the perception and branding of one tourism destination. This is the story how to make positive change in HrTurizam. So, I was born in Zagreb and it's capital city of Croatia, and 30 years ago I moved to the oldest city in Europe, the city where two Roman emperors were born, and the city where the oldest European calendar was found, calendar Orion. So when I moved to the city of Vinkovci, eastern part of Croatia, Slavonia, I was blown away by the fact that nobody knows about this story. Not even the locals. So nobody knew that Vinkovci was the oldest town in Europe and that in Vinkovci was found the oldest calendar in Europe. So at that time, nobody knew and recognized how Vinkovci has amazing history, brand, potential, and story. I decided to tell that story. So, how I started? I say Vinkovci can attract 1 million tourists a year because of the story of Orion calendar and the fact that Vinkovci is the oldest town in Europe. It's a strong statement, I know, but without a narrative and the story and solution how to get that goal that I said, 1 million tourists in 1 year, you must to tell the whole story, the whole picture, and of course solution. If it's just a story without a narrative, without how to implement all the things for the prime goal, then the story is just a story. There is no additional context and there is no magic. So, of course, at first I was alone. They called me a lunatic. They didn't believe me. But the story spread step by step. The most important thing is that you strongly believe in your story, especially at the start, of course, and that you have clear vision and narrative how to tell a story, how to focus the story, and who is the key people to talk about. Normally you need to offer some hope, but more important is solution how to get that goal. So how to make a quality research of that story is the main question. So step by step, post by post, article by article, person by person, and the story spread. The story started to talked about local people here in Vinkovci. After that, it was nationally news and more and more national media was talking about. And then the locals, people start to accepting the story, to be proud of it. So after writing lots of blogs, posts on social medias, articles, news articles on my portal, I decided to, on my email signature, to put one little sentence on the end on the email. So the sentence was, "Greetings from the oldest city in Europe," and link on my article about the story of Vinkovci. Normally, these greetings tell the story of identity, history, culture, and way of living, self-esteem, belonging, and last but not least, the huge potential, vision, and the future of the people of the destination in Vinkovci, city of Vinkovci. As I keep sending emails every day, the story spread. Interesting, I also had a different approach to communication and sales because I attract attention because of that only one small signature on the end of my email. Also, that greetings from the oldest city in Europe I use in my private and business communication on LinkedIn, Facebook, SMS, and all business and private communication with lots of apps. and basically everybody in Croatia knows me, Goran, from the oldest town in Europe. So this is the really small but really effective way how to communicate, and it's free. It's so simple. It's funny how just one signature of mail can make that some positive change. Imagine that all businesses in Vinkovci use that email signature every day. How many emails from Vinkovci are sent monthly or annually? Thousands and thousands of emails, and it's free advertising. And like we know in tourism business, everybody have interest of developing of tourism, how big or how small they are. And normally the point of tourism is to make positive or better quality of life of local people in destination. So in tourism, vertically and horizontally, everybody have interest because of the tourist spending in destination. Also, let me show you the Orion, the oldest calendar in Europe. This is a souvenir and a replica, of course. So this souvenir, I personally bought Orion as a souvenir. I gave them to my business partners, people in media with great media influence, people in tourism, Ministry of Tourism and Croatian National Tourism Boards. And they all further spread the story, because Orion is not just a souvenir. Orion is medium. He tells a story. Orion is put on the table on the offices, and it's everyday reminder of Vinkovci and that story. Also, when people come to the office and see that Orion, people will ask, "What is this?" "Oh, this is Orion," and the story is continue. And then the people, the person who I give this souvenir is becoming ambassador and our storyteller, so the story continues to spread, of course. The most important thing is that the local population accept this story and to start living it. People here in Vinkovci are proud. Their identity with Orion and this narrative and story begin to be alive. Today, many companies, events, logos, even graffiti, use the fact that Vinkovci is the oldest city in Europe, and that in Vinkovci was found Orion, the oldest calendar in Europe. Also, two young boy and girl in Vinkovci create a local brand with souvenirs and with web shop, which was normally branded through the narrative of Vinkovci, the oldest town in Europe. Even people buy a car sticker and put them on their cars with slogan Vinkovci, the oldest town in Europe, and they are proud with that story. So that story is just spreading. Like you see, the Orion can be a building with 1, 2, 3, 5 or 10 stories, and there can be hotel, apartments, restaurants, cinema, whatever, and of course museum with great storytelling and great presentation of the calendar of Orion. The question is, what is the better motivation for travel and to arrive in Vinkovci than the cradle of European civilization? Because the Orion, the oldest European calendar, originates from the Vucedol culture, which is like the foundations of European civilization in Vukovar and Vinkovci. So my question is, how is that millions of tourists do not come to the cradle of European civilization? Or maybe why not Vinkovci can be a UNESCO site? If we don't ask or go in that way, we will never know. But I think that is definitely, the whole story is definitely must be UNESCO site. So this is the extension of the story, or next step. The foundations are strong, the story is alive, and now we have to make a quality product of that story. Because the story, if it's just a story and if it's not quality resource, then, like I said, there is no magic and there is no extensions of the story. What is the point of telling the story if it's not real, or you cannot see it on a site? So this museum or building of Orion can be astrological center, educational center, etc. But also can be a new landmark of Europe, new Eiffel Tower, so to speak, which would normally attract 1 million tourists in city and in all Slavonia. So, just one little email signature, normally with all these other activities, with no budget, was branding the Vinkovci nationally and even further, like oldest town in Europe and town where was found the Orion, the oldest calendar in Europe. The mantra of storytelling or philosophy is sell me a story, not a product. So storytelling is really effective tool, not even in tourism, but everything that surrounds us. For businesses, marketing, sales, especially, in marketing, lots of brands don't use simple marketing like 20, 30 years ago. For example, a famous drink brand don't sell drinks. Sneakers factory doesn't sell sneakers, and biggest motor company doesn't sell motors. They all sell story. They communicate the story. They sell promise, emotions, experience, and they are storytellers. Why? Because storytelling is not only it's not only the way to talk about stories. It's set of set of storytelling skills that are universal, from the role of parents, for business, sales, education, and normally for tourism. So the answer of question is how to make a positive change in tourism is that you tell stories and use art of storytelling. For example, may I ask you one question? What do you remember most from your last trip? It's not hotel, it's not bad. I think it's some experiences that you always remember. At the end, thank you for your time. Unfortunately, I cannot be with you live today, but there is always a way to tell a story. So I hope that you enjoy this story and that you will become a storytellers and just talk stories, authentic are stories, and greetings from the oldest town in Europe. Thank you.